Hi, I wanted to talk to you today about one of the things that I wrestled with for a number of years before I finally got straight on it. And that was, wow, just sleepless nights of endless worry. Worry, worry, worry. It would keep me up all night. It would interrupt my sleep. It was kind of that constant companion throughout the middle of the day. Intrusive thoughts would enter my thinking. What's happening to Sam? What's going on? Is he ever going to come out of this? What can I do? What haven't I done? Just the constant worry. And what I finally realized was that no matter how much I worried, how much I rolled things over in my head over and over and over again to get a different outcome, it seriously had zero impact on Sam's journey. No matter how many times I thought about it, it wasn't going to affect his journey. It was super destructive for mine. I wasn't getting the sleep that I needed. I was having thought interruptions throughout the day. I was distracted. My focus wasn't as clear as it could have been. My health was deteriorating because of lack of sleep. And so I know this is the thing that most of us, certainly as parents, are wrestling with on a continuous basis. And so what I'm here to say today is that it doesn't have to be that way. Now, I know that statement is probably somewhere out there for some people. And what I also know is that the worry that I was exercised in had no impact on Sam. So it was a pointless exercise in worrying about him. And I needed to get myself squared away so that I could be the best version of me when or if Sam ever popped out the other side of his addiction. And so I continued to read and study and learn about the fruitlessness of worry. I mean, obviously, the statistics are that the things that we worry about 95 to 99% of the time never, ever, ever happen. I was in a meeting with, I think, about 10 or 11 executives not too long ago. And what I realized in that meeting was that 6 or 7 of us had either spouses or children that we were concerned about. Actually, 6 of us had children, that adult children that we had agonized about over the years. And the biggest worry for most of us is, will they overdose? Will they die? Will we get that phone call in the middle of the night that they, in fact, have lost their battle with this disease, that the disease is actually won and taken one of the most important people from us? So, just the notion of waiting for that phone call gives energy to that happening, and I'm not willing to play. And what I would say is, out of the 6 of us that had children, adult children dealing with addiction or alcoholism, every single one of us had hit a point where our children were in recovery, sustained recovery. And so I thought about that when I realized that all of us truly had gotten to the other side where our adult children were in sustained recovery. And so all the worry in the world didn't create that sustained recovery. And so all the worry in the world that each one of us had experienced for years only took a toll on us. So what I'm saying is, of course, people do lose their battle with this disease. And you may be one of them. I still could be one of them. But right now, my son is 15 months in sustained recovery. And what's happened more recently in the last couple years, well, actually in the last 6 months, is that in this sustained recovery, the longest period of his life being clean and sober, his sister died. This would be the first time as an adult that Sam would be dealing with the loss of someone that he loved, that because of his disease had written him off. And they had, in fact, not reconciled. So this was the first real huge challenge in the midst of sustained recovery. And not only would he be dealing with the grief of his sister, that would open up the grief of his dad, which he did by numbing himself with drugs. So, did I worry about him? No. I talked with him. I listened to him. I cried with him. I sent prayers to him. And I believed in his ability to sustain his recovery in the midst of this great loss, knowing that he had surrounded himself with great people. He was going to his meetings on a regular basis. He has a girlfriend who loves him. The things are in place for him to sustain his recovery in the midst of his grief. And anytime my brain thought about him relapsing in the midst of this grief, I cut it off. I leaned into the mantra, I'm willing to release the need to worry because I know my worry has zero effect on him and his sustained recovery. And I believed, and I sent prayers, and I believed my availability, my loving him through this grief, any conversations that I had with him were the best that I could do. And that he, in fact, was going to have to summon his conviction, his intention, his choices every day in, day out, to sustain his own recovery because that's what he chose. He chose his life. And so I would ask you to examine your relationship with worry and re examine your relationship with worry. I'm encouraging you to do it differently, knowing full well that worry only is self destructive to us and it has no impact on whether they stop, start, relapse, any part of their journey. So suspend your need to worry. I live with the mantra I am willing to release the need to worry. I am willing to release the need to worry. I am willing to release the need to worry. Entertain the idea. Rethink your relationship with worry and begin the process to move away and towards being grateful that they are alive today, that they are working their program today, that they're on their own journey that will serve a larger purpose. Just different thoughts about worry. Take care.